I do not own the rights to the music that's being played in the background. It is awakening spiritual powers and clarity of purpose. See my tassels, it's all crazy. Uh, Fam, I like to start out with a thought. When you know yourself, you can begin to embrace your power. When you embrace your power, it allows you to see others most plainly. And when you see others most plainly, you can begin to see what's really going on. The truth will be revealed to you. Okay. It's just my measure, my thought. Okay. I pray that everybody's doing well this Friday, Holy Day for all Muslims all over the world. Islam, Islam, Islam. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. Hotep, hotep, hotep. Alafia, alafia, alafia. God bless, God bless, God bless. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And there was one more that I was trying to think of. I missed. Okay, family. Let's go right into Friday Holy Day. I'm going to start out with the Moorish American prayer. We're going to have 5 fingers on the left, 2 on the right. Repeat the Moorish American prayer after myself. Also, it's the heels are touching. And your feet are pointing in a 45-degree angle. Repeat the Moorish American prayer after myself. Excuse me. Again. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, Ali, Ameen, Islam. I rise on this Friday Holy Day for all Muslims all over the world, giving praise to the great God Allah, the Father of the universe, who created all things, all living things. I give highest honors to His most loved thought prophet, Noble Ali, aka El Haj Sharif Abdul Ali, aka Timothy Drew, who brought us our nationality and our divine creed in hopes that we may return back to the state of mind of our ancient forefathers, honoring the highest principles known to man, the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I give honors to Brother Marcus Garvey, the forerunner of the Prophet Muhammad Ali, who is known for saying, "Up, up, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will." That's how powerful, and I like to keep repeating, that's how powerful your will is. If you don't understand your power within your will, your choice, no more subjugation, no more. I give honors to both flags, the Moorish flag, up under just say Gwyneth, which means the right of blood, the American flag, which is up under Joseph Lee, the right of sword. I give honors to the past leaders of the Moor Science Temple of America, Brother Melia, Brother Small Bay, Brother Lovett Bay, and Brother Foreman Bay. Hold on, let me see, do it again. Brother Melia, Brother Small Bay, Brother Lovett Bay, Brother Foreman Bay, all praise due to Allah for their great works that they done I give honors to the Moors here, there, and everywhere. I give honors to our sympathizers. I give honors to our Weight Watchers. I give honors to all those who support us in this gigantic mission, the uplifting of fallen humanity. I give honors to the Lord self because without a foe, a soldier never knows his strength. Islam, Islam, Islam. I also like to extend honors to the Nation of Islam brothers and sisters. I like to extend honors to the Nation of God and Earth brothers and sisters. I like to extend honors to the Black Panther brothers and sisters. I like to extend honors to the Muslim brothers and sisters, the Christian brothers and sisters, the Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters, to the Ephah brothers and sisters, to the Tai Chi brothers and sisters. I like to extend honors to the Rastafarians. I like to extend honors to my Zen brothers and sisters. I like to extend honors to uh, Buddhist, Confucianism, all the other Oriental groups in China. I like to extend honors to my European brothers and sisters up in Europe. I like to extend honors to my not Jamaican, but my Mexican brothers and sisters and my Puerto Rican brothers and sisters. I give honors to my brothers and sisters all over the world, North, South, Central America. Okay? My family is abroad. We all over the planet Earth. And we also out in the galaxy somewhere. Okay. Okay. At this time, I'm going to read the Salvation of Allah Unity, the Moral Scientific of America, the Divine Constitution, and bylaws. I'll be beginning with Act 1. I think I'm going to need some light, but I may not. Okay, let me just try. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the Chairman of the Moral Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moral Science Temple of America. The Assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moral Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest because only Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and only Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended into his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moral Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse fault his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. At 5, this organization of the Moral Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey her back. Excuse me. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and a partial of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Jew Ali the Prophet to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moor Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moor Science Temple of America. Then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father God Allah, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It has been a reading from the Divine Constitution and Bylaws. It's also customary before demonstrating before a body of Moors that one reads from the questionnaire and additional laws for the Moorish Americans by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm going to begin with Additional Act 1. Additional Act 1. Grand Sheikhs and governors and heads of all temples, all businesses, each said temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Before acting upon by any members, let it be financed properly or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finance, etc. That will cause the support of any group of members. If any officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc., by the Prophet or the Grand Sheikh. Additional Act 2. All members are to attend their adopt meetings and public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on the meeting period, shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second he will be fined $1, which will go on your emergency fund. If member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift the nation. Excuse me. Tend to my little nose real quick. My apology. This is natural. I know some people don't want to see this, but it's not a sin. So let's all be calm, stay calm, cool, and collected. Okay, let's get back to reading these laws. All right, Additional Act 3. That means something right there. Additional Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. If he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. As I have the power invested in my hands, and I will have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Additional Act 4. It is all members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion against the American flag or speak radical against the church or any member of any organized group, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Additional Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire. And let every member exercise his 5 senses who was able to do so, because after Sunday school comes the guides of the nation. Additional Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and partial of this said government, and know they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a newer time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of the Moor Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moor Science Temple. Then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become part of the uplifting of all humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant from the Holy Prophet, Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Family, let me explain something to y'all. It is very important that in every meeting, before every meeting, that you read the law. The law is highly, or should I say, of paramount importance, of high importance, because law governs all events. So you got to know the law so you can be in law and you can stay in law, which means you can be the bays and ills that we are. Means we are governors and creators of our own world, of our own behavior. You know what I'm saying? How do we govern ourselves? Through the law. So we got to know the law. So the law has to be pounded in consistently. You know? What's up, brother? So the laws got to be read. Even though they may sound boring, it might be long, you got to tap in. If they born to you, it means you ain't tapped in, which is cool. We all started out like that. All seem like some boring things, but you got to tap into the energy of the law. You got to tap into what's being said. So once you tap in, they instructions, they divine instructions, they things that you must remember. It's things that you must be mindful of at all times. It's the law. Like I said, it's of paramount importance, of high importance. That's why we memorize the law. So they stay on our dial plate. It's also customary before demonstrating before a body of Moors that one reads from the Holy Quran of the Moor Science of America. Divinely prepared by the noble prophet Ali, by the guidance of his Father God Allah, the great God of the universe, to redeem man from the sinful and fallen states of humanity back to the highest plane of life with his Father God Allah. Family, I'm going to get into chapter 7. I haven't read chapter 7 to y'all in some time. And chapter 7 is actually the first chapter in this book that I memorized word for word. And it has 31 instructions. Let me hit this horn one more time. Okay, excuse me again. Science is acting up on me a little bit today. All right, family, chapter 7 is titled The Friendship of Jesus and Lamesh. Jesus explains to Lamesh the meaning of truth. Now, we know about that truth, don't we? What we know about that truth? We know the truth will set you free. We all know that, okay? We all don't know how to act on it, okay? We all can't break it down. That's because we all don't study the truth, okay? In order to use something, you got to know how to use it, right? And to know how to use it, you got to know what it is, okay? So if we want to demonstrate this truth and be set free, we got to understand what the truth is. You got to seek the truth. You got to discover that truth. What is that truth? That truth is self, okay? It's what's actual or real about you. Okay, I want to use another word, but I decided not to. What's real about you is the truth. That's the truth that you need to discover. Okay? Ain't no other truth that you need to know first. Okay? Because once you know you, like I started out in my thought, you know everything. Because everything's a reflection of you. We got to understand this. Everything is a reflection of you. And you are a reflection of who? The Most High. Jah, Alodamari, Allah, God. Because we was made in his what? In his image and after his likeness. Ain't that what scripture teaches? So let's begin to identify with who we really are so we can understand our true power. Because once you understand your true power, no more subjection. No more slavery. Physically, mentally, you'll be free. You'll be free of the misery, the pain, the heartache, the grief, the lies, the misconceptions, the indoctrinations, the programming. You'll be free of all that. And if you can get free of all that, that must be some real freedom right there. Where the devil can't touch you. When you tapped all the way in. It's kind of like how we grew up thinking about going to heaven, being accepted through the gates. Imagine that here right now. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of freedom. I wanted to read the whole chapter, but mainly I want to talk about three things. I'm going to jump over here too. I might jump back. I might start out reading a little bit. Matter of fact, I'm going to read a little bit over here. I'm going to start over here. All right, I'm going to begin with instructions 1, and I'm going to go down to Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to go down to 10. All right, here we go. Among the priests of Jagannath was one who loved the Jewish boy. Did I read the chapter? The friendship of Jesus and Lamech. Jesus explains to Lamech the meaning of truth. Instruction 1. Among the priests of Jagannath was one who loved the Jewish boy. Lamech Brahmas was the name by which the priest was known. One day, as Jesus and Lamech walked along in Plaza Jagannath, Lamech said, "My Jewish master, what is truth?" And Jesus said, "Truth is the only thing that changes not. In all the world, there are two things. The one is truth, the other is falsehood, and falsehood that what seems to be." Okay? That's key right there. What seems to be. Because falsehood ain't real, right? It's falsehood. It's an illusion. It's a lie. It's the appearance of something. Like color law, color of authority. Thought I'd throw it out there. Okay. He said, now truth is ought and has no cause, and yet it is the cause of everything. And yet it is the cause of everything. And yet, key words. Falsehood is naught, and yet it is the manifest of right. So it's the opposite. You know what I'm saying? What truth is. It says falsehood is naught, meaning it's nothing. And yet it is the manifest of right. In other words, what's right people perceive as being wrong, and what's wrong people perceive as being what's right. Kind of experience that in your day and time, through your experiences throughout your day, where you see people doing all the wrong, thinking it's cool. Yeah, that's what that is. Falsehood is naught, and yet it is the manifest of right. It means it's what's seen and understood to be okay. Okay? Hold on a minute. It says, whatever has been made will be unmade. You build a building, what's going to eventually happen? It's got to come down. Just get old enough, it's coming down. You buy something at the new, you buy something new at the store, over a period of time, what's going to happen with it? It's going to end up in the trash. You're going to end up throwing it away because it's going to get used up. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to break down, you know. So it says, whatever has been made will be unmade. That which begins must end. And let me touch on a little bit right there. Your body had a beginning. Your body had a beginning. Your body came out your mama's womb. That was a beginning right there. But the life in the body, that's ancient. Okay? That's the Allah in man. That's God in man. That's a Lodamari in man. That's Jah in man. That's the Most High in man. That's spirit in man. If God can't die, how can man die? I'm not saying the physical man that had a beginning. I'm talking about the spirit man. The man that's inside this body that you see, that's operating everything, that's controlling, that's talking, you know. That's, in other words, it's allowing itself to be heard through my lips, through my body language, through my eyes. It's the operator of this body. See, we never want to sit down or sit back and think about what we really consist of. We got a physical body, we got a mental body, and we got a spiritual body. We got 3 bodies. But in another sense, we got 7. Because we got 7 energy centers. Okay? They call them chakras. So that's more knowledge of self that we need to know. Because it's something that's going on inside of us that we're not knowledgeable of. Okay? And if something going on inside of me that I didn't know about. Okay? I shouldn't limit myself to be ignorant about how this works. Especially if I wanted to work for a long time. And if I wanted to work for a long time, I better take some interest in it and figure out how it works so I can have it operating to the best of its ability so it can last a long time. Because a lot of people take for granted that this body going to be here forever and we just abuse it. We do what we want to it. We make it feel good all the time instead of disciplining it and telling it no. You know what I'm saying? That's your mind taking over. That's the spirit beginning to dictate the body. But some of us don't allow our spirit to dictate. Not a higher spirit anyway. We allow our lower spirit, our lower nature to influence us in deciding how we treat this body. You know, we're going to abuse it. We're going to use it up. For example, eating 3 meals a day. Who taught you it's okay to eat 3 meals a day? Have you did your research on that? Where 3 meals a day come from? And why is it necessary to have 3 meals a day? I'm talking about outside the educational system that you've been taught it in. Because if you've been taught something within a certain system or within a certain household or within a certain company or organization, you know, or establishment or surrounding, you want to ask, okay, I learned this here, but where did this come from? Where did that come from to influence me in this way? Okay? That's called research. It's called studying. That's called getting to the root of something. That's called figuring out whether or not you've been misled, you've been lied to, or you've been told the truth. But we just believe, ain't it? That's all we got to do is believe. You know what I'm saying? It's just believe. But see, we messed up belief. We don't know what it means to believe. You know what I'm saying? Because to do what you told is not a belief. Okay? To do what you told is saying that you're a slave, you're a follower. You are submitting, you know what I'm saying, to an authority, to an indoctrination, to a system, to a program. You're submitting because you ain't questioning it. That's what slaves do. They just submit. They don't ask no questions. You know? I ain't talking about no physical slave. I'm talking about a mentality. You know, a person that just submits goes along just to get along is a slave, is a follower. And we got to begin to start identifying this behavior in us so we can understand what we consist of. Okay, now we know that side, but do we have a higher side? Do we have a stronger side? Do we got a more courageous side to us? Okay? So there's three aspects to us. We got to understand who we are and what we consist of. You know, we've been taught we only got, what they say, 5 senses. Another lie. Because upon research, you come learn that I learned at least you got 7, and I can't even remember what the 7th one is as far as the title for it. You know what I'm saying? But I know the 6th one is the intuition, the third eye. Okay? And then the other 5 that we commonly know of. But my point is, if you seek knowledge, instead of just embracing what people tell you, you won't find yourself in such a bad situation all the time. Or in the same situation that you see other people in. We find such comfortability when someone else is suffering with us. Why find comfortability in suffering at all? Why don't you just find a solution for your suffering? Won't you solve the problem to your suffering? You know? So we got to think outside the box. We got to think outside what we've been taught and how we've been programmed to so-called think. Which they never taught us how to think. They taught us what to remember. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me get back. I think I was on, all things that can be seen with human eyes are manifest of all are naught and so must pass away. Everything passes away. You know? Nothing remains. Anything that has been made will be unmade. It means all things got to die. And then they take on a new life, a new form. It's a cycle that's repeated over and over again. That's why you got from children to teenagers to which consists of aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, grandmothers, great-grandmothers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to go through that cycle. And through that cycle, there's always going to be some children. It's always going to be an elder. You know, but it's a cycle because they all don't stay here. They transform. You know, they go to the other side. It's a circle of life. We got to understand that circle of life a little better. We got to even identify that it is a circle of life. You know, that there is a process. And we've been doing this for eternity. Ain't no been a big. I can't even get it out. There hasn't been a beginning to this process. You know, because this process is called life, and there's always been life. Okay. I hope my connection don't mess up over here. Having little issues with the phone. Okay, let me continue. The things we see are but reflections just appearing, while the ethers vibrate so and so, and when conditions change, they disappear. It's the same way that it's old wise saying, the smallest drops of water will wear away the hardest stone. The smallest drops of water will wear away the hardest stone. Because stone is one of the few elements that don't deteriorate as fast. Okay? And a lot of times we don't see a rock being able to be destroyed, except crushed. But like I started out with the saying, the smallest drops of water will wear away the hardest stone. But it'll do it over a period of time. It ain't gonna be quick, but it's gonna wear it out. Okay, because the water, the element of water is powerful. So think about that. How much water you got in you? Say 75% water the body consists of. That's a lot of power. Yeah, if you learn how to use that power. That's why we need to have knowledge of self. How does the water operate in us? You know what I'm saying? How can we make sure that this water does the body good? You know, does the best for the body? Because you don't want to just put any water in your body. You don't want to put no dirty water. You want to put clean water. What is clean water? You know, do you determine clean water by looking at it? Do you determine clean water by hearing it? Do you determine clean water by tasting it? Do you determine clean water by touching it? Do you determine clean water with touching, tasting, hearing, seeing? What was the other one? Hearing, seeing. Oh, do you determine real water by sniffing it? You got all these systems or sensors within your body that you can utilize to determine something at any given time. Okay? Determine the substance and the situation, you know. So you got to have this knowledge in order to utilize your capabilities to figure something out. Okay? All right. Let's continue. The holy breath is truth. It's that which was and is and evermore shall be. It cannot change nor pass away. The truth stay the same. It don't change. Because you don't change. Because the essence of you is God, and God don't change. God don't change. God is the realest thing that we ever could imagine. And we don't know him. Because to know God is to know you. Why? Because you was made in his image and after his likeness. Or you was made in her image after her likeness. I'm not going to limit my knowledge to just one book and what one book says. But it only makes sense that there's other factors involved that changes. You know what I'm saying? It changes. You know? Why we call God him? Can't be a him without a her. Can't be a her without a him. So why did they limit God to being a him? Man did that. Changed something. Made it false. And we figure it out once we start thinking and realizing it can't be one without the other. So why would we try to exalt one over another? You know, it gets deeper though. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, the two work together. I don't care what their roles are. They work together. And get stuck again. And working separate, there's no success. You know what I'm saying? They conquer each other. They defeat each other, going against each other, or not working together. Because they was meant to be one. Like we all one. Anything that was ever created is one. Why? Because it got one essence. It got one source. We got to understand these things so we understand life and how things go. And then we can look around us and we can see what's wrong. And that's why we don't see where we're going wrong, because we don't know the truth. So we can't be set free. Because you refuse to identify what's right there in your face. You refuse to see it. And you definitely ain't going to let nobody tell you what's right there. You're going to argue with them tooth and nail. Knowing that you don't know what you're talking about. You sit there arguing and know you don't know what you're talking about. You cannot support it. But you'll keep running your mouth. Because you're envious, you're jealous, you are consumed by negative energy. You let the smallest thing get to you and blow you out of proportion when you're in your feelings. That's the program. You was taught to be in your feelings. You was taught not to be able, not to be rational, not to be logical. And to understand what it means to be rational or be logical, you got to look the word up. And you come to learn that's associated with justice. Your reward or your punishment. Everything ties in. So if you learn to be rational, you learn to be logical, then you can be just. You can do right by others. Why? Because you just did right by yourself by looking the words up and understanding what they mean. When you begin to do that, the light gonna shine in you, and you're gonna be able to see in front of you. You ain't gonna have to stumble over your feet all the time. You don't have to make a lot of mistakes because you're learning. You're starting to see. You're not walking in the dark. You're not a zombie no more. You start to think. You start to use your mind. You start to use your highest potential that's in you. You're starting to connect with your God. You start to connect with your higher self. Let me get to this faith. Faith is powerful. Now, understanding man, and I think wisdom, all that's cool. Okay, but I want to get over here with this faith, and we're going to close out. It says, Lame's asked, pray, what is faith? He called Jesus pray. P-R-A-Y. He said, pray, what is faith? And Jesus said, faith is the surety of the omnipotence of Allah in man. Read that again. Jesus said, faith is the surety of the omnipotence of Allah in man. Let me break it down for you. Faith is the surety of the omnipotence. Omnipotence is all power. Okay? All powerful or all power of God, Allah, and man. Allah and man. That means you take your will, you put your will in tune with Allah, all power. You see what I'm saying? That's how you gain power, ultimate power. You got to tap into your God. How you tap into your God? By studying self. What does self consist of? Well, self consists of 3 levels: the physical, mental, and spiritual. I'm trying to find the first word I use. But self has 7 energy centers, which is 7 chakras, okay, which I can't name them all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to, though. The root, sacral, heart, throat, heart, throat. I can't remember all of them. I meant to copy them out, but I got them on my phone because I try to look at them every night or every other night and study my Reiki. But the body also has 7 senses instead of 5. Okay, has polarity, which is representing the 2, positive and negative. Negative, the yin and yang. X and Y chromosomes. You know what I'm saying? 2. Has a high and a low. You know what I'm saying? It means it can do good and evil. You see, all these things, these aspects, with the understanding of this, you can utilize that in different aspects of your life and gain control over you. You can behave better. You know what I'm saying? And through behaving better, because now you have knowledge of self, you're able to set better examples. When you set better examples, then you'll find the community changing. Changing how? Transforming, evolving into a higher level, a high vibrational level, instead of low vibrational, where everything they do ends in death, constantly deteriorating and not elevating. You know what I'm saying? So we dealing in something that's deteriorating, we want to try to elevate, even with our lives, because we can feed our body in a way where it'll stop deteriorating and it'll start living again. Yeah, I said it will start living again. It's the same way me being a natural healer. If somebody come to me sick, you know what I'm saying, it means their body is deteriorating. That's what sickness do. It kills you. it breaks your body down. I can provide you with natural herbs and medicines that's going to heal you. That means it's going to build the body back up. It's going to restore what is wrong, make right what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And the body begin to thrive again. Why? Because 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to build the immune system up. Immune system got weak. You put too much poison in your body. So we got to clean it first, then we got to build it back up. You know, that's what we do. Okay? Done it many times. I know what I'm talking about. You know, if you had this knowledge, you can do the same. Is that not power? Okay, it's knowledge. We know knowledge is power. So why not invest our time and our energy every day gaining knowledge? And get that power. Over who? Over yourself. To where you can heal yourself, you can renew yourself, you can transform yourself. You can improve yourself in so many ways. But we got to first acknowledge that self needs improvement. There's always room for improvement. That's what we've been taught. But we ain't know that there's aspects of ourselves that needs improvement. Or we not used to hearing people talk about it, so we don't talk about it. It's time to have the conversation, family. Okay, we on this faith. Yeah, I got kind of like deep into that alive man, didn't I? I didn't even finish the sentence. All right, I'm going to start over. And Jesus said, faith is a surety of the omnipotence of a alive man, the certainty that man will reach the ific life, godly life, divine life, holy life. You know, I'm trying to recall all the definitions. I ain't looked it up in a while, but I'm on point. You know, might be some other words that fit as well. In other words, like I said, we have the capacity to improve. Why? Because we have the seed of complete development within us. The same way you took an orange plant and you planted, or a cabbage plant and you planted, or a carrot plant. Or no, I said a plant. Seeds. I kept hearing myself say plant. I said, hold on, something ain't right. You take a seed of all these things and plant it in the earth, and what is it going to do? It's going to produce itself. The same way God did with us. But it was our fathers that planted the seed in mama that brought us about. You see how that works? How that associates? The father plant his seed in the mother, which allows her to conceive and then give birth to a child. The seed got to be planted. And where does seed come from? It comes from the Father. That's why we like our fathers in a lot of ways, because that's where we come from. So if it applies physically, wouldn't it apply spiritually as well? Referring to God, wouldn't it apply mentally as well? Any thought that you take in from whatever book, magazine, social media, or sound that you take in, it creates what it is, right? So if you bring in low vibrational thoughts, then that's what you're gonna be, low vibrational. You bring in high vibrational thoughts, then that's what you're gonna be, high vibrational. The same way you bring in evil thoughts, you're gonna be evil. You bring in good thoughts, you're gonna be good, because you are what you eat, physically, mentally, okay, and spiritually. So understand what it is that you want to be, and eat those seeds to produce what it is that you want. Don't keep taking in low vibrational seeds thinking you're going to be successful on a high vibrational level. That ain't how it works. Because that low vibration is going to hold you down, keep you from elevating. Okay? So, going back, you got to have faith, meaning you got to be sure of your power between you and God, you and Allah. Okay? You got to be certain that you will reach that level of uniting with your God. You know what I'm saying? You got to be certain of that. In other words, you got to have enough knowledge to where not only have you accumulated a certain energy from your research to where you know that it's working, something's going on, it's different from what you used to, and you keep on doing it and get greater and get greater and greater. See, nobody can't tell you nothing because you're experiencing it. You know it works. You don't need nobody to verify for you. You're going through it, and that's what each and every individual has to do. They have to go through it. They got to feel it. They got to experience it for themselves to know it. And once you experience it, then that's where you can acquire that faith because you certain like yeah, man, and it feel good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's always good. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have your high and low throughout the process. You know what I'm saying? But you gain that faith, that certainty through experience, through research, through studying. You know, God gonna tell you that what you just read is true because He gonna make you feel a certain kind of way. Like I used to teach, and I ain't said it in a while. I'm glad I brought it back up because it ties in the subject of truth. When you do your research, you're gonna come to learn truth has a certain ring to it. When you hear that truth, it has a certain effect. The same way the difference between drinking water and a Coca-Cola. You see what I'm saying? You experience drinking both. So nobody can give you water and tell you it's Coca-Cola, can they? My point exactly. So you research enough, you're going to come to learn what's truth and falsehood. And nobody don't have to tell you or verify what your truth is. Because you experienced it. You went through it. You're a part of that process. You know the difference. So you can be certain as you go along your journey that you're going to end up being successful. That's my point. All right, let me go on. It says salvation is a ladder reaching from the heart of man to the heart of Allah. It has 3 steps. Belief is first, and this is what man thinks perhaps is true. And faith is next, and this is what man knows is true. You got to be what you know. You can't be what you're told and think you know, because you're going on what someone else told you. You haven't verified it. You haven't proved it. And like I said, you need a proof in order to go through that experience so you can make the determination yourself. And this is the problem nowadays. We want to be right when we're wrong. We got to stop doing that because we confuse people. We confuse our children. We confuse the community. And they do it all the time in the shows, in the movies, in the music, in social media. They put out these false things, false examples. And we take them on and we defend them, knowing that we did wrong, knowing that's a lie. A lie gonna keep you a slave. The truth gonna set you free. You say you want to be free, but you keep telling these lies. You gotta make up your mind which one you gonna do. I had to make up my mind. I convict myself all the time. Why do I convict myself? Because when I'm wrong, when I'm thinking wrong, before I do wrong, I correct myself. I check myself. I verify before I say something. I verify before I do something. Make sure, because if I know I'm constantly doing things and keep messing up, then why keep doing that to myself? That's insane. So I got to think. I got to research. I got to know what I'm doing before I do it because I want to be successful. So I got to take that right seed and I got to plant it in my mind and nurture it. Make sure it gets sun, it gets water. It gets what it needs in order to grow. This is anything you want to do in life. Anything you want to be successful in. Apply this process, guarantee you're going to work. Because that's how it works. That's nature. That's the universal truth. I don't care what words or what phrases or what sentences you put it in, it's still going to be the truth. That raw truth right there. It says fruition is last, and this has made himself the truth. Belief is lost in faith. Now listen to this. Belief is lost in faith. And in fruition, faith is lost. Man, it used to twist my mind up all the time. I had to go over and over and over again to get what they saying. Same way you're going to go over it and over it again until you get what they say. I'm not going to sit here and tell you. All right. But belief is lost in faith, and you can get it. Just focus on it. Belief is lost in faith, and intuition, faith is lost. And man is saved when he has reached the ific life, godly life, divine life, when he and Allah are one. When he and God are one. Okay? That means when you take your will and you put it in tune with God's will, with Allah's will, with Jah's will, with Lord Amari's will, because you're not leaning towards your own understanding no more. That's why things messing up in your life. You gotta learn the truth. And there's only one truth, and that's God. That's the Most High. That's the Creator, which is the essence of you. So if you want to learn the truth about you, submit to your highest being. Plant the right seeds so you can produce success, abundance. Don't play with this. You only get one life, fam. You only get one. So you don't want to take this one for granted. Because when it's about to end, you're going to cry, cry, cry if you get a chance to cry. You know what I'm saying? But you're going to be miserable. If you die miserable, you live a everlasting, miserable life on the other side. Because that's the energy that you vibrated on. I ain't trying to go out like that, to be honest with you. I'm not. I wonder if it's been loud all this time. Or does it sound loud to me? All right, fam, it's been reading from the Holy Quran of Moor Scientific America, and that's what Allah has blessed me with on this Friday, Holy Day for all Muslims all the world. I pray that y'all got something out of my blessing for this week. I pray that you learned something, that you was inspired to do something differently, that you believe from what I share is going to work for you, okay? That's what it's all about. When we listen to what other people say, we're looking for some enlightenment. And by the way, that's what this fez represent. It's why we wear a fez that sets up on the top of our head, because it represents the extension of knowledge that we have, And that's my security back there. That's the Moor security. It's been throughout history, The elephant always been the Moor's watchdog. Okay, remember coming to America when Eddie Murphy and them was at the dinner table? What was walking the grounds outside when you looked out the door? There's elephants. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of history about them elephants within our culture. We got to study and learn. All right, family. Read the divine warning by the Prophet Noble Ali. Prophet warns all Muslims, governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Read that again. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in the homes, on the street. We are for peace and not destruction. You know what I'm saying? When we vibrate low, we're about destruction. When we vibrate high, we're about peace, love, and harmony. Okay? Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their rewards from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the laws laid down to them by the prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing the turban and fez, and return to the state where the prophet found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet in the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Nawaju Ali. All right, family, peace, love, and happiness. Y'all have a beautiful Friday. I know most of y'all out right now. Y'all probably ain't going to catch us until in the morning. But some of y'all that didn't go out tonight, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably on here checking this out. And I just want to express my gratitude, you know what I'm saying? And as always, I pray that y'all learned something, picked up on something positive. Because all I try to do is give something positive. Try to inspire my people. I try to motivate my people. Try to encourage my people to do better, to do right. You know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing square. This is manhood. This is womanhood. It's a kingship. You know what I'm saying? Queenship. You know, we elevating. You know, we're not thinking on levels of niggas no more. But a lot of y'all don't want to give up the word nigga. Look up nigga and find out what nigga is. You know, low vibrational. And you wonder why you only got what you got and not more than what you have. You know, we hold on to words that are spells that keeps us down. It's designed to destroy us. That's why we gotta let them go. Sometimes you gotta let people go because people destroy you. The energy is so bad, they just hold you down. They hold you back. And that's a reality that you gotta be willing to face if you want the truth to set you free. You can't lie to yourself about nothing because that lie gonna destroy you. It's gonna hold you back. It's gonna hold you down. It's gonna keep you from growing to your fullest potential. You are powerful, and your power can't come out unless the truth is revealed. Okay? Because truth is all power. All right? Peace, love, and happiness, family. Keep love at the forefront of your mind, along with the truth. You know what I'm saying? Let it follow by peace. And then let freedom come behind that. And then let justice take its course. You get your reward instead of your punishment because you chose to do the right thing. And I'm talking about from the Most High. I'm talking about from God. I ain't talking about from no man. Because at the end of the day, it's either you at peace with yourself or you're not. And you know at the end of the day whether you happy. You know it. You can pretend all day long to other people. But you got people out there see. You know how they see? Because they done faced it within themselves. So if they can see it in themselves, they can definitely see it in you. Because it takes one to know one, don't it? You better believe it. Peace, love, and happiness, family. Y'all have a great one.